I did go to the fiction section of my library and I saw
this: empty shelves on the first day of school.
And sections that have been completely erased.
Raina Takata says more than half of the books at her Mississauga school library are gone, including her favorites like Harry Potter and The Hunger Games.
Taking away books without anyone's knowledge is considered censorship.
CBC News has learned thousands of books have been removed within the Peel District School Board, many likely ending up in the landfill. Like most libraries in Canada, Peel schools are to weed out books that are damaged or outdated, but the board is going further. According to an internal document reviewed by CBC, books that aren't inclusive or reinforce racist content or stereotypes also have to go. That was put into place in response to a ministry directive mandating the board undergo a diversity audit as part of a review on systemic discrimination within the board.
But it appears that was misinterpreted. At first, neither Ontario's Education Ministry nor the minister's office would comment for the story. But after it was published, the minister told CBC he told the board to end the process immediately.
In a statement saying, Ontario is committed to ensuring that the addition of new books better reflects the rich diversity of our communities. It is offensive, illogical, and counterintuitive to remove books from years past that educate students on Canada's history, anti-Semitism, or celebrated literary classics.
My son is in grade 10.
Parent Tom Ellard says he thinks the school board misinterpreted the ministry's directive. Ellard and other parents and students are concerned with how the process has been unfolding.
I'm not comfortable giving anyone the power to be the arbiter on a huge basis of what's right and wrong from a library's perspective about the totality of ideas that are available.
Takata, who's Japanese, says she's worried books with themes of race like Japanese Canadian internment will disappear.
It shows students that it never happened.
At Takata's school and others, the process has led to confusion. Because staff are supposed to focus on weeding books published in 2008 or prior, it appears some have tossed nearly all books published in that time frame.
I brought these two books, The Very Hungry Caterpillar and The Diary of Anne Frank.
Diane Lawson says she spoke with teachers who are upset those books were removed, seemingly based on publication date alone.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Lawson and Ellard created a group called Libraries Not Landfills after they say teachers reached out in hopes they could raise awareness.
It's important that those challenging ideas are there and available to us. If they're not there, how are we providing a learning environment for our children?
The process itself rolled out wrong.
Trustee and school board chair David Green says after trustees learned about the process, they implemented changes in hopes of ensuring transparency and accountability. Now, if a book is tossed for not being inclusive, staff must record it.
We want to make sure it's done properly, that all students feel included and part of the process.
So I have talked to a few of my friends.
But so far, they don't feel that way.
And our decisions and thoughts haven't been considered.
I'm worried about my chance with other students when coming up to university that have access to all those books that I don't have.
So Angelina, I am so curious, what is the school board saying about this?
Well, we reached back out to the school board today after we heard from the minister to see if the board would adhere to his request to stop the process immediately. Didn't hear back from the board on that one, but I previously asked the board several questions, things like how many books have already been thrown out, how much will it cost to replace them. The board didn't address any of our questions. It did say that it's working to ensure books within the board are culturally responsive, inclusive, and diverse.
Okay, so more questions there. One thing that struck me watching this is, stories come from all sorts of places, but where did this one come from?
So my colleague and I both worked on it. We are with the Enterprise Unit at CBC here in Toronto, and we actually got an email tip from a student who was quite concerned about all of this. The student told us that they learned about it from a concerned teacher. So the student brought the information to us, sent us some photos. Of course, we asked a lot of follow-up questions. They gave us the information for the Libraries Not Landfill group. So we tracked down the organizer, and then you're put in touch with all kinds of people, and things kind of start going from there.
All right, there's clearly more to do on this.
Certainly.
Angelina King, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.